This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus, with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is the brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration Camp here in Trinidad, with another lesson through the power and through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. First and foremost, call Halayam, La Alahayanawa, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakaha Kodash, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations unto the brothers who preach and teach this truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and their freedoms to do so now more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled Israelites who looks like the other nations, but are Israel through their forefatherly lineage, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akoats. The name of this lesson, is just a lamb back actually from Sunday's works, Sunday's street teaching, street preaching. Last Sunday, street teaching, street preaching, concerning the war in heaven. So the name of this lesson is the upcoming war in heaven. Alright? The upcoming war in heaven that is going to be taking place pretty soon, that is going to be witnessed by the eyes of every man, woman, and child that is left upon the face of the earth at the coming of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who the world ignorantly and stupidly calls Jesus Christ, which will be in the height and midst and total utter climax of this up and coming last World War, World War III. Alright? Because you have to, brothers and sisters, the younger ones who in the truth, you all have got an understanding of what the war in heaven really means, what it is really speaking about. Alright? Because coming out of the Christian church, and watching things at a Christian standpoint, alright, where you would follow Christian doctrine and what have you, and you would read, and you will read and be indoctrinated concerning the war in heaven, that it was speaking about Satan, the spiritual being Satan, coming up against the Most High God. Alright, that it had a fight, it had a war in heaven. Alright, and Satan, the spiritual being, had a fight with the Most High God, and that the Most High God cast him down and what have you, these things, which is heresy, alright, which is doctrines of devils, alright. So what we are going to do, we are going to go into it. We are going to go into it. Alright. So I will start with Revelation 12, and I will even come back to it. Alright, I will be like back and forth, so to say. Let me see. Alright. Okay, so let's get with it. Let's get with the program. Alright, so this is Revelation 12 and 7. I will start at 7. And there was war in heaven, Michael and his angels. Alright. A matter of fact, I think I should go to the blue letter. Just bear with me. Alright, so let's go to Revelation Revelation 12. And I'll read it from the blue letter, I might, Alright, so Revelation 12 and 7. Alright, so, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels. Alright? So, as at a Christian standpoint, they would look at it as what? As an actual war in heaven. It had taken place, and Satan lost, and he was cast down onto the earth, and he is residing in a place under the earth with hot molten fire, in a place called hell, with all his minions and what have you. The thing go, the fairy tale, and this is the reason why, a lot atheists and whatnot, they will watch the scriptures, and when they hear it from a Christian standpoint, they would actually call the Bible a book of fairy tales for adults. It's a fairy tale book for adults. Alright, because Christianity, it has no source. It is nothing, because the Most High God is not dealing with Christianity. They don't have the truth. Alright, they do not have the truth. So, right? So the thing is with this here, I'm going to read verse 9, and then I will say something after. Verse 9, no, verse 8, Salakia, and prevail not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Alright? So, again, and he prevailed not, alright, which is Satan, and neither was there any place found any more in heaven. Alright, so this is what this year, But the thing is, the scriptures say to study to show thyself approved. They will watch things, everything in the scriptures, and take it literally, and not figuratively, and metaphorically, and what have you. Alright? Verse 9, and that great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. Alright, he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. So they don't understand words. They don't know how to go into the meaning of words and research on what have you. Alright? So when it speaks about the dragon, let me see something here. Although the blue letter, I think it doesn't give much in this year, The brothers had went into it Sunday, but hey, it's okay. Alright.
Strong's G 1404. Drakon.
Alright, Drakon. Alright, dragon. Alright. A dragon, a great serpent, a name for Satan. Alright. A dragon. Alright. But it is not this, what you have to understand. Alright, a great serpent. What you have to understand, let me see something in the Greek lexicon. Alright. Good. Alright. So as you could see, when I come down to the Greek lexicon, it reads from it after Genesis 3 and 1. Alright. Right? Figuratively is derived figurative description. Right? Is derived the figurative description of the devil. Alright? In Revelation 12. Alright? 3 and 17. So now let's go to something here. Bear with me. Devil, alright? Let's go to Revelation. I shouldn't do that, what I should do is that. Revelation 2:10. Watch this. I'm going to go to Revelation 17. Revelation to blah 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 10. Search that. Alright. Revelation 2 and 10. Watch this. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and that ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Okay, so now, hope you're staying with me. To the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Okay, so now, let's go to the word devil.
Strong's G 1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
Alright, diabolos, alright? Okay, so watch this. Prone to slander. Slanderous, accusing falsely. A culminator, false accuser, slanderer. Metaphorically speaking, right? Metaphorically applied to a man by opposing the cause of Yahweh, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. Okay? Because in this same particular scripture that I'm reading out of here in this Revelation 2 and 10, okay, where it reads, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Come on. You have to be a real fairy tale guy to actually think that the literal Satan himself is going to come from his dwelling place, alright, and physically put you into a prison. No. Alright, figuratively speaking of a man, alright, the physical counter, that man is what the physical counterpart of Satan. Okay, which is who? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, which this devil with is speaking about here, it goes, which we had read in the Greek lexicon, it goes all the way back to what I said, Genesis 3, alright? Genesis 3, right? Because remember when we do the breakdown of the word dragon, that serpent, right? Also, as they said, also a serpent, alright? Stay with me here. Alright, so Genesis 3 and 1, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh power had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Okay, now let's go to that word serpent. To line everything up in us, right? Oh, shucks.
Strong's H 5175. Nachash. Nachash.
Alright, Nahash, right? Serpent, snake, serpent, image of serpent, fleeing serpent, mythological, alright. Let me see something here. Let me see something here. Let's go up to here. Alright. Yeah. To practice divination. Alright. To practice divination. Divine, observe signs, learn by experience, diligently observe. Alright, when I go into this, a matter of fact, I didn't select you about that.
Strong's H 5172. Nachash. Nachash.
Alright, the same pronunciation. Alright, okay. To practice divination, divine, observe signs, learn by experience, diligently observe, practice fortune telling, take as an omen. To practice divination, to observe the signs or omens. Now, could a literal serpent do that? These things here, which goes into heavy witchcraft. Alright? Could a literal serpent do that? That's why you need to do your research, to read and do your research and what have you. Because a literal serpent cannot do these things. Alright? Well, look, when I come down here to the Chaldeus lexicon, unused and call an onomatop word, to hiss, to whisper, especially use of the whispering of soothsayers. Alright? Psalms 58 and 6. To give you scriptures, alright? Compare, alright? So could a literal serpent do that? No. Alright? Which goes back to the word devil. Oh gosh, this guy coming. Just bear with me, Baba Kusha. Alright, so lucky about that. Yeah, so you can't, you have to learn to do your research and whatnot, alright? Because as we researching here and seeing, a literal serpent cannot do these things. A literal snake cannot do these things. Alright? It has to have somebody that has the portraits of a snake, that cunning way about it, that deceptive way about them. Alright? And the man or the nation, the people that is well known of that is who? The so-called white man. Alright, when you go back to that dragon now, but the thing is, this is the thing here. Come out of that. Bear with me here. What's this shit? What's this shit? What's this shit? Alright, yeah, so. Alright. The meaning of the word dragon. Alright, mythology, let me see. Dragon, alright, it's plural, right? Alright, dragon. Alright, the mythical monster, like a giant reptile in European tradition. The dragon is typically the fire-breathing and tends to symbolize chaos or evil. Alright, symbolically, okay? Whereas in East Asia, it is usually a beneficent symbol of fertility associated with water. That goes into what they call this, these Chinese, these Moab and whatnot. Alright, so let me see something here. Let me see. Let me see something here. No, not this one. Let me see something here with this. No, alright, enough time to waste. I waste enough time. Alright, so then you got what it is, right? Now, okay, watch this. Room being called alrighty then. Okay. Okay, let me see. I want more than that. Let's see. All right. I ain't getting more, because what I want to show you is that the I don't want to get no Christian outlook. Let me see something here. Because the red dragon, the Roman Empire was called the Great Red Dragon. All right. Let me come in it out. Alright. No, I'm gonna come out of this. Like YouTube limiting it because before you used to get it, alright, that's right. Before you used to get it where they're showing it that you know that room being called, alright, rumors being called, alright, the great red dragon. Alright. Now as you can see the Welsh here they have it, yeah, because they are all Edomite, they are all of the ancient Roman Empire. Alright. I must see something here, boy. Oh, freaking Chinese Moab. Alright, but for time's sake, because as you can see here, look, let me go to images here. Alright, in pagan Rome, alright, they were known as the Red Dragon. Alright, but anyhow, because it all is all about the Roman Empire. That's what it's all about. Alright, so already read Revelation. I spent enough time on that. Let's go to. Let's explain. Let's show you the link between Revelation 12 and 7 going down to what, to verse 10, verse 11. Actually, let's go to the Apocrypha, the missing link. Something that Christians don't like, do a book, you know, Christians don't want to subscribe to because why? It cuts them to the heart. Alright, this is 2 Ezra 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that had moved all the waves thereof. Alright, that wind is actually speaking about the thermonuclear missiles. Okay, verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Now, who is that man? Who is that man? That man is actually Yahushai. That man is Yahushai HaMashiach. Salakia. Alright? That man is Yahushai HaMashiach. Alright? And he returned what with this with strong, wax strong with the thousands of heaven. Which is what? The angels. Alright? The angels. Just bear with me to have a scripture. Alright, I find the scripture because I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to go through and then they don't have to waste time. Alright, Psalms, where the hell are going? Psalms 68. Psalm 68 and 17. Alright, where it reads what? The chariots of Yahweh are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Alright, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. Alright, so when you go back to the 2 Ezra 13 and 1, alright, when you go back to it, alright, where it reads, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. It is speaking about Yahweh shall return, and with those thousands of heaven, it is actually speaking about the angels. Alright, in the chariots, coming back in the chariots where the so-called white man teacher is what is UFOs, but they are not UFOs. Alright, they are IFOs. We identify them through the scriptures as the chariots of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. When he turned his countenance to look, and all things trembled that was seen under him. Alright, and whensoever his voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth feeleth when it feeleth the fire. That is speaking about what? It is speaking about the laser beams, the fire power, which is the laser beams of the chariots. Alright? Continuing. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number, from the four winds of heaven, all right, from the four winds of heaven, the four corners of the earth, all right, to subdue the man that came out of the sea, all right, a multitude of men, all right, which goes to, because why a multitude of men? This is actually speaking about World War III. Hence the reason why a multitude of men. All right, because when you go to Joel, I'm gonna go quick to it. Joel 3 and 14. Where Yahweh Basham say? All right, multitudes in the valley of decision. All right, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision, in the valley of Jehoshaphat. Multitudes. All right, that's great strong hosts. So when I go back to the second address 13, I think it was 4, whatever it was. All right, 5 actually. All right, where it reads, and there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number, all right, from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right, the sea represents the people. All right, that man which is Yahweh Shai. All right, because what this is showing you here is the climax of World War III, when those nuclear missiles started to be shoot off. All right, let off, is where Yahweh Shai will come to make his return. All right, to put an end to all these nations. All right. Verse 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. All right, it was not a literal mountain. All right, this is Esdras, giving a similitude. All right, he could have only break it down. He could have only break it down and explain it to the best way he could have at that time. All right, this is actually speaking about the chariot. All right, that fathership, that great big fathership. All right, but I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not. All right, that's why when I go to Revelation 1 and 7, Revelation 1 and 7, all right, where it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, all right, which is the chariots, and every eye shall see him. Every eye is going to see him. Because why? The chariot is going to be so big. The chariot is going to be so huge. All right, that you wouldn't know from where it starts to where it finish. Hence the reason every eye will see him, along with the rest of chariots that is going to be coming out of that such great of a chariot. All right, and they also which pierced him, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen or amen. All right, so that gives the explanation of 2 Esdras 13 and 6. All right, that gives the explanation there. Why he couldn't even, get it to see from where it started to where it finished. Where he could have give a proper measurement. Because it was way out of this world, something that, and this is what is going to happen. This is what is going to take place. This is what we're going to, because this here is the preview here. Which goes into the prophecies. This is what is going to take place. This is what we are going to witness. All right, Lord willing, I've been worthy enough to get up on that chariot. Seriously, it'll be a beautiful thing, Verse 8. Alright, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. Alright? Because hey, but it is going to be as nothing as the world has ever been seen before when they see this sort of a magnitude of fire, power, and you know, effects and signs and wonders. Alright? Something that they cannot fathom. So yes, they are going to be frightened, but yes, still is going to fight. And a major factor that plays into that also is that what that C to the H to the I to the P. You know, that charagma that all these soldiers is going to have inserted in their bodies, where the elites who has full control of these things is going to put it within them to fight. All right, to fight, to come up against Yahushai. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude, all right, the multitude of men, the multitude, all right, that came, he neither lift up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war. All right, here goes that multitude again, because hey, when I go to Zephaniah, you know, all them that gather up. Zephaniah 3 and 8. Zephaniah 3 and 8, where it says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh power. Alright? Until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour out upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. Alright? For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Alright? This is what is coming to take place. You know that this war in heaven is actually Esau, Edom, the devil, the so-called white man, all right, along with his minions, having a war in the heavens, which is the skies, because there are three heavens. All right, you have the first heaven as rulership. All right, the second heaven is the Shemayams, and the third heaven is the heavens of heavens, where Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshai sits upon his throne. Yeah? This is what it is about. Alright, but that war in heaven that we read in Revelation 12, which we are getting the proper breakdown and understanding in 2 Ezra 13, is actually the space war. This is what it is about. The space war, along with the men that is on the ground, fighting against the angels, fighting against these spacecraft of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, alright, the chariots, and what have you. Alright, there is where it is. 2 Ezra 15 and 20, another one. That's why it's having all that multitudes. What the hell do me? 2 Ezra 15 and 20. Right, where it says, behold, saith Yahweh power, I will call together, all right, all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from this rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another, and to repay the things that they have done to them. Who is it them? Israelites. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua is making this great slaughter by bringing all these nations together. All right? Having them fighting against each other. And in turn, when Yahweh makes his return, they're all going to put their differences aside to fight against that main common enemy, which is who? Yahweh. All right? So going back to 2 Ezra 13. Okay, where I reach. All right, I will read over verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, which is what? The laser beams coming from those chariots, along with the thermonuclear missiles that is going to be dropping upon those soldiers in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and upon Babylon, and upon Russia, and upon England, and upon Spain, and upon the Vatican, you know. Yeah, great destruction. Great destruction, great destruction, great destruction. Because they all gonna wax when they go down to verse 12. Alright? No, not verse 12. Verse 28, Salakia. Verse 28, 2 Ezra 13:28. And that he held neither sword. No, I will from 27. And whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came as a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. Alright? This is what it is. All these, they are going to put away their differences aside, which goes back to Revelation. Same thing as in Revelation 17, Revelation 17 and 12. Alright, Revelation 17 and 12. Alright. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which we have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Alright, the system. Alright. Which goes back to EU and NATO. Alright. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. Alright? Unto their system that they have set up. Alright? Through the European Union and NATO. Right? Which is Edom we're actually speaking about here, the so-called white man. Alright? Verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and the King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Alright? This is what it is here, because they have the audacity to come up against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, come up against Yahushai when he makes his return. Because why? They have it's a battle of supremacy. Alright? It's a battle of supremacy. And they think within their mind, they are so deceived within their mind that they are more superior because of their technology and what have you. Okay? They think that they will be more superior and outclass Yahushai in that battle, that great war in heaven, and bring him down. Alright? So going back, 2 Ezra 13, I think it was 33. No. Come up. Alright, yeah. Alright? Verse 29, actually, behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, which goes back to Revelation 1 and 7, which I had already read. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. Alright? One realm against another. So we're going back, as I said I would do. I will stay here in the in this here. I ain't go back to the blue letter. Revelation 12 and 7. I will read over from 7 again. And there was war in heaven, because it speaks about one realm against another, right? What this is? Let me take my time. What this is going into, what when it speaks about one realm against another, it is speaking about the physical realm and the spiritual realm. Alright? coming to war. Alright? Yahweh Shai, who resides within the spiritual realm, coming into the physical realm, alright, to put Esau, Edom, and all these other nations underfoot. Alright? So continuing, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, alright, which is what this new and revised Roman Empire. Alright? And the dragon fought and his angels. Alright? This new and revised Roman Empire, because Revelation 13 and 3 Salakia, Revelation 13:3. And I saw one of his heads, alright, as it were wounded. Alright? Talk about that beast, which is actually the first Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. Alright? Which is what? This is the new and revised Roman Empire, because the first Roman Empire was brought down by the Holy Roman Empire, right? Because you understand the Roman Empire was split into two. You had the pagan Roman Empire, which was Esau, Edom, them, right? And then you had the Byzantine Empire, also known as the Holy Roman Empire, which was us, the Israelites, so-called Negroes. Alright, we had brought down the pagan Roman Empire and brought in something called what? The so-called Dark Ages, alright, where the dark races was ruling Israelites, to be precise. Alright, verse 4, and they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast. Alright, that new and revised Roman Empire, alright, and the beast system. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. Alright, so going back to Revelation 12, alright, where it speaks about the war, verse 8 now, and prevail not, because why? When you read 2 Ezra 13, you get the answer why they haven't prevailed, because why? Yahweh Shai defeated them. This is 2 Ezra 13 is the answer to Revelation 12, verse 7 going down to verse 11. Alright? That's why the Apocrypha is very and highly much important. Okay? That's why he says what? And prevail not, neither was there found anymore in found their place, neither was there place found anymore in heaven. Alright? Which goes back again to Revelation 17 and 14, you know, where they all came up to make war against the Lamb, and the Lamb subdued them. Alright, so you see how it linking. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. Alright, that old serpent from since the beginning of time, from since in the garden, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Alright? Which deceived the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Which is what? Which his angels are speaking about his space force. Alright? He was cast out into the earth, which goes into I think it's Isaiah 47. Just bear with me. Where the hell do me, boy? Isaiah 47. And I'll start at 1. Yes, Isaiah 47 and 1, it reads what? Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. The dust represent what? Confusion. Which goes back again to Genesis. I think it's Genesis 3. I don't do a video on that, you know. Genesis 3, and I think it's 16, you know. Alrighty then, not 6, let me see. Alright. 14 actually, where it's where the Yahweh Hashem Yahshai put the curse upon the serpent. Alright? Which that prophecy is going to be fulfilled. That prophecy hasn't been fulfilled as this prophecy hasn't been fulfilled as yet. Alright? And the Lord said on this is Genesis 3:14, and the Lord said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. And right, which goes into the nations. It is speaking about the cattle and beasts. It's speaking about all the other nations. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and thus shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. Alright? Which they are going to come back down to that low estate. Alright? Because when you go to precepts just coming to my head here now, man. When you go to I'll have to come back to the Isaiah. When I go to Romans 9, from 13. I wouldn't read from 13. I just want to see something here. Alright, this is Romans 9, and I will read from 15, Romans 9 and 15. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy upon whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth. Alright, because it speaks about Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, you know. He made one for to do good and one to do evil. Alright? Just go research it yourself. Alright, so yeah, that's because for time's sake. Alright, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh that sheweth mercy. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for his purpose have I raised thee up. Who he is speaking about is speaking about Esau Edom, that I might shew my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Alright? So, we all know what happened to Pharaoh. Alright? Yahweh Hashem Yahshai raised Pharaoh up and hardened his heart, you know, put Pharaoh on that serious pedestal, you know. We all know what happened to Pharaoh. Alright? So, going back to the Isaiah, so it's the same thing Yahweh Hashem Yahshai doing to Esau Edom. Alright? He raised Esau Edom up and bring them to that height, you know, that they are right now, to do what? To bring them down to that low estate, which they ought to be. Come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Alright? The nations ain't going to look up to you in this high stature anymore. Alright? Take millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers, which is what Yahweh Hashem Yahshai exposing Esau. Alright? That's why it's having a great information war taking place, where they're looking to fight, to try and tooth and nail to fight off the truth. And they will until they will do what? They will take down the internet. Alright? Or altogether just ban channels like this, brothers who bringing out truth and what have you. Because why? It is exposing them, it is putting them in a bad light, a bad shade. Alright? Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. That is the reason why, you know, Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, you know, is going to destroy them in such utter way. He says he's going to destroy them. Alright, because he's going to come back with what? With all angelic power. He is not going to come as how he came back then and get dealt with as how the Romans dealt with him. It is going to be a flip side of things to come. Alright? That is what it is about. It's going to be a flip side of things to come. Alright? When he comes bursting through that skies, with these space stations and them who out there, you know, they are like outposts. Go and look how the meaning of the word outposts. That is what these space stations is for. They are outposts. They are military bases away from the main military base. To be the first line of defense and first one to sound the alarm when he is making his return through the skies, from the spiritual realm into the physical realm. That is the war in heaven it is speaking about. All right? That is the war in heaven. Satan and his angels, his messengers, which is Esau Edom, against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and Michael and the rest of archangels. All right? Verse 4, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, which is who Esau Edom. All right? For thou shalt no more be called the lady of what? Of kingdoms. That great whore that sitteth upon many waters. Having the military bases and the embassies in all these countries. All right? Pushing for the wicked ideologies and agendas and the policies and whatnot. Upon the nation. Upon all the nations, the philosophies and wickedness. This is what it is about. Last scripture. Very last scripture. And I say praise and tawara to you, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Because I had something else was going to do, and just so Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai just put it in my spirit, to do this. Because I didn't know which video I would have done. I didn't have a, But anyhow. Revelation 19 and 19. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. Who is that that's sitting on that horse? That's Yahushai. That horse represents the chariot power. Alright? That horse represents power. Alright? And against his army and the army. And the beast, which is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, EU and NATO, along with America. And the beast was taken with him, the false prophet, which is what the Vatican, all right, that wrought miracles before him, all right, which with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worship his image, all right. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone, thermal, nuclear fire. And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, which goes back to the same 2 Ezra 13, man. You can't get realer than this. And all the fowls were filled with their flesh. Alright? Because it's going to be a great feasting for the fowls of the air after the conclusion of World War III. So with that, I hope you was edified through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright. We say Kal Halayam, La Alahayanawa, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Akah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations unto the brothers who preaching and teaching us truth through the four corners of the earth, risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more than ever. Shalom unto the speckled bird Israelites who looks like the other nations but are Israel through their fatherly lineage. Alright, and shalom unto the very few but faithful Akwards. This is the brother Kahan from the GMS Prophetic Vibration signing out and saying shalom, shalom, shalom.